Okay.
Okay, good morning. We'll call this meeting to order and please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
Motion.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
On the opportunity for the public to address the board, agenda items only. Anything, Ms. Hart?
No, we received no emails today.
Okay. Resolution 204019.
Authorizing the use of ballot return receptacles, resolution of the Board of Commissioners acting in their official role as the Board of Elections of Lackawanna County, authorizing the use of ballot return receptacles, drop boxes for the November 3rd, 2020 presidential general election in Lackawanna County. Whereas the Board of Commissioners sit as the election board for Lackawanna County pursuant to 301 of the Election Code 25 PS 2641 and 13-302H of the Lackawanna County Home Rule Charter. And whereas as a result of the changes to the election code allowing mail-in ballots and the continuing COVID-19 pandemic, the Board of Elections is anticipating a large number of mail-in ballots to be utilized for the upcoming November 3rd, 2020 presidential general election. And whereas the Lackawanna County Board of Elections believes it is in the best interest of voters of the Lackawanna County to authorize the use secure ballot return receptacles in Lackawanna County in order to promote efficiency and convenience in process mail-in ballots for the November 3rd, 2020 presidential general election. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County acting in their official capacity as the Board of Elections does hereby resolve as follows. 1, the Lackawanna County Bureau of Elections is hereby authorized to use ballot return receptacles, drop boxes, to receive mail-in ballot returns for the November 3rd, 2020 presidential election, general election. Number 2, said ballot return receptacles shall meet the requirements of the Pennsylvania Department of State as set forth in its August 19th, 2020 absentee and mail-in ballot guidance circular, version 1.0, and any updates that may be issued by the Department of State. Number 3, said ballot return receptacles shall be placed in secure and central locations in the county as determined by the County Director of Elections to include 1 in the Upper Valley, 1 in the Mid Valley, 1 in the Abingtons, 1 in the North Pocono area, 1 in the Lower Valley, and 1 in the city of Scranton. Adopted at a regular meeting of the Board of Elections of Lackawanna County held on September 2nd, 2020. Commissioners, if you have any questions on this, I can answer them for you.
Mr. Chairman, as the minority solicitor, I do have a few questions on behalf of Commissioner Chermak, Chief.
Sure. Commissioner Chermak's going to ask the questions, or you're going to ask the questions for him?
No, I'm going to ask the questions because they're legal in nature.
Okay.
Okay. The first question, is this action authorized by the Pennsylvania Election Code?
Don? Donnie?
I think Don froze.
Don froze. The answer is yes. Go ahead.
Okay, can you tell me then, I really think Don should answer this because there's nothing in the election code that I can find that authorizes the use of these drop boxes. The only thing I can find is what was referred to in the resolution, that being the August 19th, 2020 absentee and mail-in ballot guidance circular. We just lost.
Right, that was put through by the Department of State, correct?
That's correct. That was put through by the Department of State, but
that's what authorizes to do this.
Well, again, I would hope that Attorney Frederickson could answer, because the question is whether it's contained in the election code, and I think the answer is no, or at least I haven't been able to find a citation to the election code that authorizes the use of collection receptacles. The election code is pretty clear. It says that mail-in and absentee ballots can be returned by mail with postage prepaid or by dropping them off in person.
Okay, we there?
Yeah, we're
Danny,
there.
I'm sorry.
PJ,
PJ,
why
to
don't
answer
you
your-
repeat that to Danny?
Yeah, Don, the question is whether the use of these receptacles authorized in the Pennsylvania election code or only suggested by the Department of State.
The Department of State has taken the position that these drop boxes are authorized. There's nothing specifically in the election code that mentions the use or non-use of drop boxes. However, the Department of State has issued guidelines and they've said that we are allowed to use them. Now, there is some litigation pending before the courts, as everyone is aware. However, that has not been decided by any court. So at this point, the Department of State's position is that drop boxes are allowed to be used in the Commonwealth.
Oh, okay, but there's no language in the Pennsylvania election code at this point. Is that correct?
It doesn't specifically address drop boxes. That is correct, yes.
Okay, my next question is Lackawanna County a defendant in that lawsuit in Pennsylvania that you referred to?
All the counties are
Yes.
named defendants in 2 lawsuits. Yes, that's correct. Mhm.
Okay.
There's two current. There's one before the federal court and there's one before the state courts.
So if the plaintiff were to succeed in that lawsuit, then the county would have spent money on those drop boxes and on the corresponding totes in error.
Yeah, evidently, I mean, yeah, that's true, but.
Well, I
that's
wouldn't
why-
say it was an error. I would
No,
say
no.
that we're going forward now with what we're being told, what we can do.
Right,
If I
right.
decided it's against it, then I wouldn't say it was an error.
No, Chief, I apologize. I shouldn't have used the word in error. I just meant that we would have spent money on something that we may not be able to use.
Guys, let me, if I can respond.
Can I
That,
just ask, would that be reimbursable under those?
It is reimbursable. It's being paid for through a grant.
it is,
All
but
It is reimbursable, yes. That's correct.
here's the other side of it though, too, PJ. Because the Department of State has authorized the use of the drop boxes to this point, and because there's ongoing litigation, if we didn't purchase the drop boxes and the court doesn't rule on the lawsuit prior to the election or rules that the drop boxes are appropriate and we hadn't purchased them, then we wouldn't have the ability to have mail-in ballots because we wouldn't have the drop boxes.
Well, I understand that, and I understand that the county's operating on the best information they have at this point.
Right.
I
So
apologize
equally,
if I made any other inference.
so you're right. If the court comes back and says we can't use drop boxes, then we would have purchased the drop boxes and not be able to use them. Likewise, if the court comes back and says we are able to use them, then of course we made the decision early enough, which allowed us to obtain the drop boxes to get them in place.
Understood. And if it's reimbursable, then it's not coming out of the county coffers anyway, correct?
That's correct.
All
That's
right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the state specifically, in their last instructions to us, specifically states that the counties may provide voters with access to secure ballot return receptacles, which are the drop boxes in various locations in the county. So that's what we're going with. Again, if the court rules differently, well, then we'll see.
And PJ, just so you're aware, the federal judge stayed the federal action, and now the action is primarily just up before the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. They've asked for the King's Bench rule for them to use their King's Bench rule authority. They've declined that, which means that, as you guys know, as the attorneys too, that, and I've said this, I think it's unlikely we're going to have a decision before the election, which
I
means
agree.
it's just going to basically cruise out, and this is going to be the mode that we're in. So I think we're certainly, it's to our benefit and to our electorate's benefit to have purchased them when we did.
Yeah, Frank, I think you're right about the lawsuit. I agree that it probably won't be heard by the
No,
time the election rolls around.
No.
Yeah, we're 60 days, we're 60 some days out before the election, and the Commonwealth Court hasn't even put a schedule together yet to hear it. So I don't know where we're going with it, but.
I just want to, I'll say one thing, our Marion, our staff, they've gone through great lengths to ensure the security of the absentee ballots, the mail-in ballots. They're kept in locked, secured, camered areas. to ensure that they can't be tampered with and they're safe. You know, and as far as the voters go, they also have the option to drop these ballots off at the county building here.
Right.
They're monitored by our staff and by the sheriff's department. So, you know, that works for me.
All of the locations that we have chosen have 24-hour-a-day surveillance.
I know, and you know, and I appreciate that too. I mean, that's a huge step, and that's certainly probably better than what other places are doing. I'm just, me as personally, I'm just not comfortable when they're out there throughout the county and we have less control. So, you know, that's the only reason why I'm just not for it. Other than that, that's all I have to say.
Well, on that resolution, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Deb,
I'll make that,
pardon me?
hold on, there we go. Wait a minute. There we go.
A
I'll make
motion.
that motion.
Okay, a second. I'll second.
Second it, but my vote's gonna be no.
Okay, you'll second it. Okay, on the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm a no.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, PJ, Donnie, and Frank for that.
Thank you. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion 204020.
Commissioners, this is a motion to relocate the polling locations from Oliphant 1 and Oliphant 4-2 from the St. Nicholas Church Hall, 604 East Lackawanna Avenue to Eureka Hose Company, 717 East Grant Street. Here to speak on that is the Director of Elections, Marian Medalis.
In the primary election, we were not able to use St. Nicholas Church Hall due to they had some concerns with the COVID-19. So we did relocate the 2 precincts to the Eureka Hose Company. And I felt that the space, there's enough room for, there'll be 3 precincts voting there. And there's parking is better and it's accessible. So this will be a permanent move from, again, the church hall to the Eureka Hose Company.
Okay, anyone, any questions for Marion?
No, not for me.
Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
On the question, all in favor? Aye. Motion 204021.
Commissioners, this is a motion to relocate the polling locations for Old Forge 3 from Old Forge Bureau Senior Center upstairs at 310 South Main Street to the Eagle McClure Hose Company, number 1, which is located at 375 Milwaukee Avenue in Old Forge, Pennsylvania. Once again, Director Medalis.
I received notification that there's going to be construction work beginning the end of September at the Old Forge Borough Building. So the Borough Building was not going to be available. So we will be relocating only temporarily for this election to the Eagle McClure Hose Company.
Thank you. Anyone questions for Marion?
No.
Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
A question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion 204022.
This is a motion to relocate the polling locations for Old Forge 6-1 and Old Forge 6-2 from the Old Forge Bureau Municipal Building on 310 South Main Street to the Eagle McClure Hose Company, number 1, located at 375 Milwaukee Avenue. Once again, Director Medalis.
Again, there's going to be construction at the Borough Building, so this will be a temporary move for the general election to the Eagle McClure Hose Company.
Anyone have any questions for Marion?
Not.
Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion 204023.
It's a motion to relocate the polling location for Scranton 23-2 from the American Legion Post 908, located at 625 Deacon Street in Scranton, to the Greenridge Assembly of God, located at 825 Greenridge Street in Scranton. Once again, Director Medalis.
In the primary election, I received notification that the roof was leaking at the American Legion Post, therefore it wasn't available for a polling site. We moved the location to the Green Ridge Assembly of God Church. There are currently 2 other voting precincts there, and the feedback was good that there was more than ample space and there's plenty of parking for voters. So this will be a permanent move to the Green
Any
Ridge
other questions
Assembly
for
of God
Marion?
Church.
No questions from me.
None for
Okay, entertain a motion to approve
me. Motion.
Second,
on the question. All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Motion 204024.
Motion to relocate the polling location for Scranton 2-1 from the firehouse at 209 West Market Street to Holy Rosary Hall, West Market Street, and Wayne Avenue in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Once again, Director Medalis.
I received a phone call and then a follow-up email from the acting city solicitor in Scranton, Joseph O'Brien, that the West Market Firehouse will not be available for the primary election. And we did relocate it to Holy Rosary Hall in the primary, so that's where we're going to have the polling location for the general election.
Marion, aren't they required to allow us to use their facilities for elections?
They are,
Yes.
but I mean, I know last election, we kind of were told at the last minute that we were not able to use the 2 fire halls, and we had to quickly decide where to move them and how to go. And I believe Attorney Frederickson addressed that, didn't you, Don, with the city?
Yes, that is correct. We did address it in a letter form to the city during the primary, Commissioner. They are required under the election code. If the County Board of Election makes a request for any school district or any municipality for use of municipal buildings for elections, they're supposed to make them available to us and work with us in accommodating them. But the city is, in this case, declined to do so. And I understand, Mayor, if I'm not correct, that we got a letter from Attorney O'Brien indicating that this is a permanent change, not just because of the election.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
and the other, we have 40 municipalities. The other 39 municipalities all allowed us to use theirs.
That is correct. Yes, Commissioners. Yeah.
That is correct. Okay, doesn't make any sense. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Wait, I
Mr.
think-
Domenick is
I
trying
think-
to speak. Her microphone was.
I don't know. It's on. Don, what was the reason cited for permanently moving this poll?
They didn't give.
They just put something in an email and some correspondence. While COVID will hopefully be a non-issue sometime in the future, the safety of the citizens and the fire department employees is always paramount. We do not believe safety concerns can be accommodated as to allow voting at these stations.
Well, I understand what they're saying, not that I agree with it now, but they're making it a permanent change, are they not?
That is correct.
COVID is over, it's not going to be a concern, and they're still not going to be following the election law.
That's correct. That's what it seems to indicate.
Apparently, that's what they're saying. That's for the, we're worried about this election. Who knows what the future brings? That the current administration up there does not want us using their firehouses. Things can change in the future.
Okay. All right, on the question we did, entertain a vote. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion 204025.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a motion to relocate the polling location for Scranton 12-3 from the firehouse 1900 East Mountain Road to the Northeastern Detachment Marine Corps League at 1340 Alder Street in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Here to speak on that is Director Medalis. This is the second of those 2 locations we're speaking of.
And that is correct. Again, I received the email that the East Mountain Firehouse would not be available, and we relocated it in the primary to the Marine Corps League.
Commissioners, I think once we make these appointments today, we won't, I would suggest that Marion not send out licenses to these two locations in the future, and we will determine stuff as we go forward into 2021.
I
Any
agree.
other questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
on the question. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you to the Marine Corps League. Thanks again.
Yep. Motion 204026.
It's a motion to increase the poll worker rates for the November 3rd, 2020 general election, judges of election from 170 to 270, majority and minority inspectors from 125 to 225, clerks from 125 to 225, and constables from 125 to 225. Speaking on this is also Director Medalis.
The commissioners did approve the poll worker rates in the primary with the hope that we could attract additional people to work the polls for us. And we were able to staff all of our locations, and we're hoping with this increase that we'll be able to have a good response for the poll workers, and we won't have any issues of a shortage for the general election.
And hopefully going forward, we'll be able to bring it back to where it was prior to this, Marion.
Yes, and I mean, the poll workers do run next year, meeting the judge of election and the inspectors, and I am requesting an increase in pay for the workers for next year.
And this money should be available through the CARES Act?
Yes.
Yes.
The only thing is, I believe we would need to adopt the increase in pay going forward before the end of the year, because we can't adopt it in the year they're running. Is that correct, Marion?
Well, I believe 4 years ago, we did it in February of the year before they started filing nomination petitions. So I think in early 2021, that would be sufficient.
Okay. All right. Anyone, any other questions?
Nope.
Entertain a motion to approve
Motion.
Second.
on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion 204027.
This is a motion to approve the Scott Township referendum question and the plain English statement. Here to speak on that, commissioners, is Scott Township Supervisor Mike Gianetta.
Morning, Mike.
Hi,
Good morning, Michael.
John. Hello. Hi, everybody.
We can hear you, we just can't
Hi.
see you yet, Mike.
No, you're fine.
Are you okay? You can speak whenever you're ready.
All right. Can you see me now?
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
All right.
If you just want to explain to the public and
Okay,
to the
I
Board of
believe-
Elections what the referendum is about.
Yes. At our audio approved a resolution authorizing a referendum on the November ballot regarding a special 1 mil annual tax for fire protection in Scott Township. The issue came to a head because of COVID and the lockdown, and because, which was a bigger issue with fire companies, volunteer fire, to attract volunteers to staff the fire trucks and ambulances. And in Scott, what the fire companies have done is entered into a contract with Commonwealth Health to provide an EMT during the day from 6:30 till 4:30 every day, so that there's someone on duty. Because they've been having difficulties, and it's not just Scott Township, with getting volunteers during the daytime when people are working, this arrangement worked out well so that there was a local EMT that could respond to an emergency here in Scott during the daytime. And because of COVID, calls have been down and revenue has been down for the fire companies. starting to pick up somewhat, but since March, it has been down, and they've been running in the red, not running ambulances, transporting people, and not going to accidents because people really haven't been traveling. So they came to us, we had a meeting with them. They explained the financial situation with the EMT, and we discussed the future and what we could do to help stabilize their finances. And we decided that the best way would be to have a 1 mil annual a property tax that would go just to fund ambulance, EMT, emergency services. And Scott, I believe the EMT cost the fire companies about $68,000 a year to have that individual, the EMT, on duty from 6:30 till 4:30, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So this 1 mil would generate approximately $48,000. It won't cover the full cost of the ambulance and the EMT, but at least it would give them a good basis or some stability and revenue that they know that they could count on throughout the year. They'll still have to do billing, they'll still have to do fundraising, but they won't run into a situation like we've had this year where they're uncertain about the revenue. So we passed the referendum. The township code allows the Board of Supervisors to pass such an annual tax up to 1/2 mil. We decided that was not enough and we wanted to go with 1 mil, and that has to be approved by the voters in a referendum. That's why we passed the resolution, and that's why we're requesting the Board of Elections frame the question and place it on the November ballot for approval by or rejection by the voters in Scott Township. We feel that it's imperative that we have local ambulance protection. If you're having a heart attack or a stroke, having the local ambulance may save your life. There are private ambulances, but they could be in Clark Summit, in Scranton, and those few extra minutes may save somebody's life. And we don't want to get into the situation where the fire companies come to us down the road and say, we can't do this anymore, we don't have enough revenue. So we want to be proactive. We want to try to provide some type of revenue for the ambulance and EMT service in the township. We have not had a tax increase in Scott Township for probably almost 20 years. So we don't look upon this lightly, but we think it's very important for public safety that we stabilize and provide some revenue that the fire companies can count on for the EMT. That's why the board unanimously passed the resolution and authorized the question to go on the ballot for November. And I believe the township code only allows the referendum in a municipal or a general election. This would be a general election. If we did not do it this year, we would have to wait until next November. And if it passed, it would not take effect until 2022. So that's why we decided to go this year.
Michael, this would be decided by your residents. This would not be decided by the taxing body yourselves or by the county.
That's correct, Commissioner, yes.
The voters of Scott Township will vote yes or no on the question.
Okay.
We had a similar referendum.
Ballot in Scott Township, Commissioners. Yeah, it will not appeal throughout the county. It's just on the Scott Township.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Gianetta?
No,
I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion. Hi, Michael.
I'll second.
Okay, on the question, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, opportunity for the public.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Opportunity for the public to address the board.
No, we didn't receive any emails today.
Okay, members of other business? A motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.